Here's Johnny.
Yes.
I knew someone was.
Here's Chris and here's Pete. Oh my
And
god.
Jack.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, we had 4
yeah,
people
there
there
you
for a second. This is our episode 3 review for Nacho of Better Call Saul. And I just want to say, what an episode, man. There was just so much substance. Like, after I finished watching this episode last night, I said to Jack, I was like, there was so much substance to that episode. Like, as a viewer, I just felt so satisfied. Just, there was so much twists and turns, questioning, who did it, what's going on, the logistics of the situation. It was just really well done.
I kept on thinking, okay, at this part they're going to stop the episode. Okay, they're going to keep on going. At this part they're going to stop. Okay, they keep on going. Oh my gosh, he's at the woods. Okay, now he's not going to find them. Oh my gosh, he finds them. Okay, they're going to cut it once he finds them. No, he keeps on like he literally
Yes.
keeps on going on. Which obviously sometimes I say it was a bad thing, like oh it wouldn't end. But I didn't want it to end, and it kept on going. And oh my gosh, they did do a lot.
So what? Obviously spoilers. I do say that in the description. So obviously we're talking spoilers here. But so interesting. The beginning of this episode is a flash to the way past. This is Saul in his prime, I guess.
Pre-lawyer status.
Pre-lawyer, and he's in a bit of a jam. I guess
the haircut I was rocking in like 2010.
Oh my god, yeah. yeah, if anyone wants, go back into P-Dog's video history. You can see some of his atrocious fucking haircuts, and you can compare it to Saul in this episode. Yeah, so he was calling on his brother for some help.
His brother when he was still practicing, when he was still an established lawyer.
Yeah, and so what was it, like a sexual assault charge? Now, I don't know. Now, I don't know if they answered this question. Is the woman that he called in this episode, is that the same woman he assaulted in the past, or is that not? Is that not the case, or am I just?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, but they've obviously had a past. There's history between.
He's like, "Don't talk dirty to me, Saul." And I was like, "Oh, I guess something has gone on between these two. There's been some sexual things, flirtations going on with Saul."
Good and Saul. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god, yeah. But I'm trying to think. What did because she thought he was drunk. She thought a couple of things about him, and I was trying to think what. Because there was that point in the episode where she's like, "Oh, what did you say?" Like he caught himself, where he said about the Kettlemans.
Well, he said that they were in danger, which was kind of awkward because why would he know that? Like that's kind of implying that he knows something. So she was like, "Wait, why did you say that? Why do you know that?" And it's even more awkward the fact that they were missing the next day.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Oh my god, the robot sex voice! Don't tell me you did the robot sex voice.
Yeah. Oh my god. He takes a paper towel roll and puts like he puts a rubber band. He puts a rubber band and like I was trying to think like what is he doing and like
voice modulation.
They couldn't even understand him though. Like it didn't even work. Like he did it and like he's like
worked too well.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna hang up. They were like we can't understand you, dude. And then he just yelled his. Did he think they were gonna recognize him? Because he said
they didn't want it to be traced back to. He didn't want to trace back to him. Like if they, recorded the call or like could identify his voice later on.
Yeah,
and so they knew that something would be up because he called them immediately before they supposedly were kidnapped.
Yeah, exactly. And now the interesting thing about this episode was I was expecting Saul to take up Nacho's offer. That was what I was predicting was going to happen. And I
end of the second episode, like how they kind of shaped it up, but because this takes place like straight after the second episode, you then find out that stuff got a bit muddled up, and you had this whole convoluted plot, which actually resolved by the end of the episode, which kind of surprised me. I thought they were gonna drag this on a bit, but
right.
Yeah,
it was kind of interesting in the beginning when he pulled up to that payphone and he called Nacho like 5 times, like more than 5. He just kept on calling. It's like, well, if you call me back at this number payphone, just call me back soon. Like I don't know any details and I haven't told anyone, but
and there was
just trouble. But
there was just money falling out.
Oh my god.
And so then the first of many like ambiguous scenes occurred when Saul was running from those guys, and I'm like, oh, it's got to be Tuco's crew, it's got to be Nacho's guys, and then it was actually, secret agents, undercover guys, and I was like, oh, okay, so.
That was such a Breaking Bad-esque scene, by the way. Whenever he was looking through his rearview mirror and he seen the guy walking, that's
walking, running.
Yeah, it's almost like a SpongeBob scene. Running, better stop running, sprinting. I just. Oh my god, that was funny. So then,
Can I say though, Jimmy McGill? I mean, the good thing he's a lawyer and not like an Olympic sprinter, because that run was like appalling. He was running.
not gonna get away from anyone.
no, and can I just say those two detectives were dicks. Like they were,
Oh my god.
they
Well,
were
I mean,
really,
yeah.
they were just like they were like no.
They're the atypical douchebag cop undercover guys.
Yeah, they were like, no, we're right and you're wrong, and it was you know, we know his name's Nacho, not Voss. We can stop calling him Voss, but we know Nacho did it, and you know, well, that's his code name. Like, I don't think his name's really Nacho. It's probably just his code name, but you know, they were so set that he did it, and for a second, I thought he did it, but it didn't make sense to me at first. I was like, no, like this, it can't just be him who did it. And then I was like, oh, maybe there's a rival. Maybe Tuco did it. Then that was where the thing. When Nacho said I didn't do it, I was like, okay, maybe it was Tuco who did it. And so
Well,
I was
he was like, tell me about your other crew or whoever, because Nacho, I was going to call him Boss there, because Nacho said to Saul, okay, I didn't do it, but you're going to tell me exactly who you've been, like, you know, who you told my plan to. And then Saul was legitimately like, I didn't tell anyone. I'm just as clueless as you about all this. And then that's when everybody kind of builds up this new theory once he like goes to the house after his really bad day, which I think started with the stupid sticker troll Mike and Saul finally rebelling against him.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
So
he pushed the button when he wasn't looking and ran out.
Yeah,
and...
so two great scenes with Mike here. The scene where he needs to obviously get to the house, to the Kettlemans, and he just pushes the button. And it's kind of funny. I like how Mike almost laughs. Like, he's looking at him, and he, like, cracks a smile, and I'm like,
I think
Mike,
he knew Saul was going to do it at some point. Like, he probably knew that, like Saul was getting more and more angrier with his antics and stuff, and eventually he was going to do something ridiculous. And sure enough, he did, and then he got his payback whenever Saul came back later on in the episode.
So funny.
Then the confrontation that I was waiting for, I did mention the scene in one of our reviews that he does, like, pin him to the ground.
Like, shit afterwards.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you gonna do, Grandpa? You probably have a diaper back there full of food. And then he just brings him to the, he, like, touches him with his finger, and then Mike just brings him to the ground. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
That was good. And so, some of the the funniest fucking line in this whole thing was when Mike decides not to press charges on Saul, and the agents are like, what the heck, I thought you were on our side. Mike's short responses to that it was just so funny. He's like, so then they're like, oh, so you're a pussy, you're pussing out, and he's like, yeah, I'm pussing out, yeah.
Because we know how much of a badass he is.
Yeah, like the guy fucking puts his hand on his shoulder and he just stares at his hand. Like, and he calls him buddy. He's like, I'm not your, like, I don't think I told you that, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, right back at him.
Yeah. Because they were trying to use Mike to frame Saul, so Saul would, you know, finally do what they wanted, but Mike wasn't having any of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Saul really had this plan of his, like, he really thought he was right in this, and he really, like, similarly to his mentality, like, he'll always push for what he believes is right, and once he noticed that missing doll, once he returned to the house, like, whenever he was in the house, you kind of seen that, it wasn't looking the best for him because he was just looking around, looking for something. And then once he discovered the missing doll, then he started hypothesizing this alternative ideas to what could have happened to them. And of course, the douchebag detectives were like, "No, that didn't happen. Of course not." But then Mike, of all people, believes him, and I think that's
like,
what
you believe me?
we finally see. I think that's whenever we're going to see the first kind of connection between the two of them when they hate each other. Like, they literally had their lowest low, and now it seems like they're starting to build this like relationship now that Mike has finally understood that, like, okay, maybe Saul is a bit smarter than he makes himself out to be at the toll booth every time I see him.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Mike told a story about when he was a cop in, was it Philadelphia or something, and the guy who ran away with $6 million ended up only being 2 houses down. So that kind of gave Saul the idea of, they could be, close by, they could be in the neighborhood, or, and then he walked by and there was like a camping sticker on the back of their car, so he probably figured, they're probably out camping somewhere.
Yeah, that was that, and then the music when he's going off, like, I knew it, like, I knew the Vince Gilligan build-up. I'm like, there's a build-up to something here. There's definitely a build-up, and then they find the family.
Walking around for fucking hours.
The greatest
in the desert. Oh my god.
He's like, let's play John Jingleheimer Schmidt, and well, because that went on for a while. It was daytime, and he was like really persistent, and then he found him, and he's like,
They're off singing in their fucking tent.
I'm assuming. Alright, I bet you the two of you thought the exact same thing as me. Whenever I first seen the silhouettes in that tent, and I just thought to myself, this isn't gonna be them. I bet you he's gonna like kick open the tent door or something, and it's gonna be like a couple or something. It's not gonna be
That
them.
would have been hilarious.
But then that's how I thought it would have.
We thought the opposite. I thought it was them. I was like, oh, there's the Kettlemans. I was waiting for it because as the viewer, I was like, where's the Kettlemans? And I'm like, there they are. And then I pointed them out. I didn't. I mean, who else could it be? I wasn't thinking it was.
I just thought it was going to be like another little twist thing where like, oh, no way did he find them that. Well, not easy, obviously, but no way did he find them that quickly. As in, like, oh, it's only been like 5 minutes since he started searching, and he's already found them. And sure enough, you know, actually, what's he got a reverse twist where actually he did find them that early on, and there they were from singing the song. The kids were sick and tired of it. But,
and he calls up that
of course, the parents
his
were there.
partner. He's like, "Listen to your stupid clients. I found them."
It was so great. He's just probably like, fucking hell. I went all this just to know I was
But the
right.
best part was how when he opened the tent, and of course his grand entry. Here's Johnny, and then like he just acts so official. He's like, "All right, cut the crap. We know you can either follow me or the police are gonna come and drag you back there." And he's like. And then that woman's like fighting with the money. She's like, "Oh no, I went to," but it's like trying to get the bag of money. He's like, "Oh my god."
Then it ripped. It was like it was just fucking like I was dying. I was just like, wow, you couldn't have heightened that scene anymore.
She wanted the money.
Yeah, then you did. So by I don't know if you saw the previews for next week's episode, but it looks like they're gonna try to bribe Saul. Like they're gonna
here's see if he takes the bribe or not.
Because Netflix can show the previews. Oh, you're gonna have to tell me this. Like, what is?
In the preview, it doesn't show much. It shows Saul being chased again. It shows the woman. The woman's like, keep quiet about this, and she offers him the money. And Saul, there's a moment in the preview where Saul just kind of like looks at it like suspiciously, and then he's talking to the woman again. And then there's just more kind of like I forget. There was other stuff, but they didn't really show much. There was just kind of flashes and just to stuff that. And then
I think that's probably the most obvious thing that's going to happen now is he's not just. I don't think he's just going to take them down and they're going to be arrested. That's going to be too easy. I think that they're probably going to bribe him, and he's because that's what he wanted to begin with. He wanted to find out what was going on, and he wanted to like get this money. And now that he just has the 1.6 million, I think that the guy stole. Yeah. So he's probably going to share that money. I think he's probably going to. He's probably going to tell him that he found them, but not even hint at any money, because I don't think the police know that he stole all this money, do they?
No, this is something new. That's why they thought someone captured them. The interesting thing, my question I wanted to pose is, do you think Nacho will want the money? Because remember, originally he wanted the money.
I think give him it, because I think that was that all on the same day, by the way, what happened in this episode?
Yeah, because remember Taco was threatening to kill him. So
Nacho.
Taco. Yeah, I've been thinking about
you
Taco.
Racist. Oh my
Taco
God.
Tuesdays. No.
Oh God.
No, but Nacho was saying if you don't get me out by today, you're gonna be dead. So like he was.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Nacho is a man of his word. If you're saying something like that. So yeah, I think Saul might give him a cut of his money. Like if Saul gets, say, I don't know how much they'll offer him. Maybe like, maybe a third. I'd say maybe that's a stretch. Like, and then I think Saul might give Nacho some of that, and then Saul might take some of that money. And I wonder what Saul's going to do with that money, because that's a lot of money to start off with. Like, 1.6, and any percentage of that 1.6 million is going to be significant. So I'm just wondering, like, is this when he's going to change his name? Is this when he's going to, like, start up his law firm? What's going to happen now that whenever he gets
we'll
money?
have to see.
He gets money. Look at myself.
Yeah, and will we get like a future kind of Saul thing or another past one? Because it's supposed to be more of a a lead in, and it was kind of like I like, now here's the cool analogy. I like at the beginning they show him as a criminal and the fact that he's going to change his ways, and it's almost like now he has to like go get the criminals. It's almost like it's kind of like contrasting these two ideas from his life. And just kind of like what kind of a man he is. And obviously that's what the show's about. It's about him. And I think the way the show's been handling him as a character progressing has just been really good. And that's why this episode was good, because it stuck to what it was good at, which was progressing him. And through these twist events, we were able to do that. And we got development through other characters as well, such as Mike, which we didn't have much with him before. And
yeah, it looks like Mike is a bit more of a significant character now that this whole toll booth thing, I don't think it's going to be over, but I think that it's going to be reduced in significance now.
I thought Mike knew. When they zoomed in on Mike's face, I thought he knew about the kidnapping through some of his connections, and that's why he did it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought maybe like this is when we're going to find out, this is when Saul's going to find out that Mike has another like secret life behind this. Like, I'm assuming, yeah, he still does have the secret life. Well,
Yeah. Yep. That's why he's there in the first
so-
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I thought he was going to like he's gonna not reveal it, but I mean, Saul's gonna find out about that through whenever he follows him outside.
Yeah.
Basically, I think that's when it's gonna happen. But I think it's gonna be pretty soon until they start building this like relationship. Maybe Saul might go back to him and say, hey, we were right, not just me, but we were right. You know, you made the good call because you didn't press charges on me. So maybe you might. It won't give him any money, but you might like say to him, well, maybe we can work together and something. Like maybe it's too early for that yet, but I know it's gonna happen at some point. It's brewing, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So reviews for this episode. Jack? What do you think? I'll start with you first.
I mean, we've already given all the first couple episodes 9, so like it's hard to get. Although I feel this is my favorite one so far, so I'd have to give it like a 9.5 or something.
So
like,
I was thinking.
I
Yeah.
mean, like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
it's
9.5.
just
I was gonna go for.
it's just spot on with what I want to be watching. So
Yeah, like this is Better Call Saul. I think this is the first episode that I was watching Better Call Saul and not like the Breaking Bad spin-off Better Call Saul. I was watching this here series that is completely independent of Breaking Bad. Like I was watching this and like the way it's going, the way it's like handling all this stuff about how it's all court. Like I thought whenever I heard about this show, I was like, it's gonna be a lot of courtroom stuff. Is it gonna be that interesting? But this episode has proved me wrong because it has actually shown that Saul's life can be very interesting and can be very it can be very unique, I'd say, and different from Breaking Bad. So yeah, this episode definitely proved that for me. So I'll go with you on that and say 9.5 for this episode.
Yep. So I think everyone's pretty much said what I was gonna say. You know, I think Vince Gilligan is still proving that he's freaking awesome writer and he can deliver these characters in meaningful ways and not have it kind of bore you or slow you down. So all right, if we didn't miss anything, that'll wrap up this week's episode, and we'll try to come back next week and offer you guys another amazing review. So until then, this is Chris, and I'll see you later.